Make sure to stay tuned until the end of this video because I'm going to be giving away what's inside this box to one of you lucky viewers. Stay tuned. In a recent video, I unboxed and tested out this new DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and I discovered what I consider to be somewhat of a design flaw, and that has to do with what happens to the camera head when you shut the camera off. Now, normally, without any filters on there, when you shut the camera off, it rotates and goes into what we call storage mode, just like that, so the camera lens is protected. But when you put a filter on there, so right now I'm going to put on included in the Creator Combo Kit, the wide angle adapter, which is a pretty thick filter. When you shut this off, it will no longer rotate into itself because the filter is just too big and it just spits it back out again, meaning that your lens is not protected any longer. And I think that's a pretty bad design flaw. Now, this also happened with the black mist filter that they have as well. But I'm making this video because I have discovered, after testing out a whole bunch of different filters by different accessory manufacturers, we have a fix. And I'm going to share that with you now. So what I've gone ahead and done is assemble a little medley of filter kits for the Pocket 3. And we have some ND filters and circular polarizers, UV filters, etc. And they're all by different manufacturers. So like these three are by Skyreat. This one is by Star Trek, this one is by Newer, and this one is by Mingven. And I can tell you right away that some of these are going to be a problem solver and some of them aren't, but they all work great. So let's get them out of these boxes and check them out. Let's first start off talking about the Skyreat filters because they're all kind of the same, even though they're a little bit different in these packages. So for example, in this package, we have an ND8, an ND16, an ND32, and an ND64. And these filters in the larger pack, as a 6-pack, adds a circular polarizer and an ND128 to the mix. But essentially, they are all the same filters. Now, what makes the circular polarizer cool is that you just spin the dial on there and you can dial in the amount that you need. Now, this middle pack here, this has a combined ND and polarizer all in one filter. So you pick your number, so like ND8 with a polarizer, and you can just dial in the amount that you like. So for example, let me show you what's going on here. So when you take these filters out, you know, they're actually not bad. They're really nice filters. And you think that they're going to be thin enough, but when you put them onto the camera lens, you can see that you can't close it. So it's just not thin enough to work and go into storage mode. And that is true for all of them. And I'll show you that with the circular polarizers as well. So same thing here. When you put on a filter, you know, it's nice. You can see the little dial right there. You can dial in the amount of polarization that you need. But when you put it on, you can't close it. To give you guys an example of what it looks like to have the ND filter and circular polarizer onto the Osmo Pocket 3, I have gone ahead and put this filter on here. This is an ND16 circular polarizer, and this is what it looks like. So without it, that is what my image is like. It looks a little bit overexposed at the moment, but when I put it back on, you can see that the exposure looks way better. Now, as for the Star Trek, the Mingven, and the Newer filters, these are all kind of the same thing as well. However, these all work on the lens when you close it, and they the lens closes just fine. Now for the Star Trek filters, they give you an ND8, an ND16, an ND32, and then it jumps all the way to an ND256. I put it on the Pocket 3 right now, and this is what you're seeing. What I find funny is what happens when I take it off. And I've got it on auto exposure right now, so just look at the big, massive difference as soon as I remove this filter. Big difference. And as you can see, it fits in storage mode perfectly. Now, as for the Mingven filters, what they give you is a little bit different as well. Now, I have a UV filter here, and then I've got a circular polarizer, and then I have ND filters going from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then another one from 6, 7, 8, 9, and all obviously different strengths. And of course, these fit no problem when the camera goes into storage mode. Now let's talk about the newer filter set. Now this filter kit has a UV filter, a circular polarizer, and then they have combined ND polarizers. So this is a 16, a 32, a 64, and a 256, and they're all combined with circular polarizers that you can dial in to the amount that you need. And once again, with the newer, we can see that when you go into storage mode, there's plenty of room here. These filters are thin, and newer Mingven and Star Trek have all accomplished what DJI didn't. And that's by making these filters nice and thin. So when you put the camera in off and into storage mode, it rotates into storage mode, protecting your camera lens. This is what I'm talking about, how they all look very, very similar to each other. They all have the same plastic cases. They all have the same QC Pass stickers on them. In fact, QC Pass 03 did all of these. QC Pass 02 did all of those. So I think they're probably all from the same company. Now, one of the nice things that all of these different filter companies included in the box was a lens cleaning cloth. And I'll tell you why this is really important, because you're going to need this. Just trying to get these tiny little filters out of the case, you can't help but get your fingers on the glass. So you're going to need to clean them then. And when you go to put them on or take them off of the Pocket 3 lens, the same thing. You're going to get your fingers all over the glass. So you're going to want to wipe the lens as well as the filter. So good, and thank you for including a lens clean cloth with all of these different filters. Pardon the interruption, guys, but I just realized that I made a huge mistake. And let me just explain this to you right now. I took a couple of days to shoot this video with all of the different accessories that I have here, and I royally screwed up. And sometimes when you're shooting by yourself and you're rushing to get going, you make mistakes. And I made a monster beginner mistake. I shot a lot of the video talking about all these different filters and accessories, and I forgot to plug in my wireless mic. I'm wearing it, it's on my camera, but I actually forgot to plug in the cable into my camera. So some of the audio in what you're about to see is screwed up, and there's nothing I can do about it unless I was to go back and reshoot everything and try to remember what I even said about everything, and I'm not going to do that. So I hope you guys can suffer through the bad audio, because I'm in a very busy park. There are tons of people all around me. I'm right next to an airport. There's planes taking off every couple of minutes. So I will do my best to boost the audio in post, but if it's a noisy surrounding and you notice bad audio, that's why. So even with all of those filters that we just talked about, I've actually got more to talk about. So here we go. Freewell. Freewell is a pretty well-known company, and they make pretty high-quality stuff. This is another of these circular polarizer and ND filter in one. So we'll get this out of the box in just a second. Check it out. This one is by IZF, and this is another set. And then I have here a K&F Concept Black Diffusion 1/4 filter. Now, this one's kind of interesting, so we'll talk about this in just a second. So let's check them out. All right, so let's start off talking about the Freewell. The Freewell comes in this nice little case, and as you can see, these filters, they are ND and polarizing filters all in one. And that is actually really cool because, you know, that takes up less space. You can carry two things and accomplish two things at once. They are actually really thin filters, but do they fit on the lens? All right, so let's see what will happen when I put the Freewell filter onto the camera lens. Will it be able to shut off in storage mode? Let's find out. Put it on the lens and nope. So even though these Freewell filters are actually really nice, it just won't work. You can't keep it on the lens head, the camera head, when you shut it off. Very disappointing. But if you don't care, these Freewell filters are really nice. Okay, next up, let's talk about the IZF filters. Now, these look a little bit familiar, but this one gives us a UV filter, circular polarizer with a little dial that you just spin. And then we have ND filters that you have the options of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And these filters are actually nice and thin as well. Let's check these out and see. Let's try with the UV filter because, you know, if you're going to put a UV filter onto a camera lens, you're probably going to want to leave it there most of the time. Is this going to fit? Yes. The IZF does fit, no problems whatsoever. So the IZF filters. Let's try another one just to make sure. So let's see here. I'll pull out one of these ND filters. Let's try that one. And yes. So the IZF filters definitely do fit when you turn the Pocket 3 off. All right, finally, let's talk about the K&F Concept Black Diffusion 1/4 filter. Now, the nice thing about this filter is that, yes, it's also very thin, and it comes with a screen protector for your screen for your Pocket 3. So that's actually really nice that they included that. But the funny thing is, this is the only company that doesn't give you a cleaning cloth with their filter. So let's pop this onto the Pocket 3 and see what the difference is between the K&F and the one sold by DJI. Let's talk about the K&F Concept Black Diffusion Filter 1/4. Will this fit when we turn the camera off? Yes. Yes. So not all of the filters don't work when you shut the camera off. There's plenty of them that do. Now, if you want to see a comparison between this black diffusion filter and the black mist filter sold by DJI, let's do that right now. Okay, so now I am shooting with the Osmo Pocket 3. There's no filter on the lens at the moment, but in my hands, I've got both the DJI Black Pro Mist filter and the K&F Concept Black Diffusion 1/4 filter. So I figured, you know, I don't think these really make much of a difference in the daylight, but let's see. I'm going to put the DJI on first, and let's see if you can see a difference. Look at my skin tones, look at the background, see if you see any difference whatsoever. So now this is with the DJI Black Pro Mist filter. Does it look any different to you guys? What do you guys think? Okay, so now let's put on the K&F Concept Black Diffusion 1/4 filter on there. And do you guys see a difference? How does my skin tone look compared to the skin tone I was getting with the DJI Black Pro Mist? And now, just for comparison's sake, I'm going to take this back off again, and I'll put the DJI back on. So now this is back to the DJI. How does this compare? What do you guys think? Now, if you're looking for a less expensive alternative to the DJI branded black mist filter, which obviously doesn't fit on the camera lens when you turn it off, Skyreat also makes a black mist filter, but it suffers the same fate and it won't fit onto the camera lens when you shut it off. But it's less expensive, so you might want to pick it up. I swear this is not a sponsored video, but I've got another Star Trek accessory to talk about, and I can't help it. They make a lot of accessories for the Pocket 3. So if you're somebody with a GoPro who has a lot of accessories or mounts for the GoPro, this right here is an accessory that turns your Pocket 3 into something that can work with GoPro mounts. So this basically just slides right over on the bottom here, and it gives you the two little feet there that go right onto anything, you know. So like, let's say you have a backpack clip or something like that for the GoPro, you can put it right there. So this is a little accessory clip, very cool. Now, I said before in my previous video for the Pocket 3 that I really like this case. Now, Star Trek makes this case just like they make all the filters for it, and they also make a couple of other accessories. We'll get to those in a moment. But I like this case because it's molded for the Pocket 3 Creator Combo, and you know, everything has a place, and you can also put stuff in this pocket like cables or other accessories as well. But even though this is pretty sturdy, I've also got this Lekufi hard case, which is very similar to a Pelican case, where everything is kind of like plucked foam. You pluck, it comes with the foam that you have to pull out of it. And this too has everything in its place. And there's a section here for filters on the top, and even like a USB converter. This one actually has a place for the wind muff right here. But my only drawback on this one is that I don't have that accessory area where I could put cables and things like that. So this one is actually really cool if I'm going to be traveling with it and I want to protect the Pocket 3 even more. And again, this is by Lekufi. One more thing I wanted to talk about was this little accessory that I picked up, which is a little flat tabletop stand for the Pocket 3. It just goes right onto the bottom like that. You still have access to the back port for charging, and it makes it so when you place the Pocket 3 on a table, it's actually really stable. And it takes up a lot less room than the little tripod feet. So I'll leave a link to this and all of the other different accessories in the description below in case you want to get one of these as well. Now, another accessory that I came across that seems perfect for the Pocket 3 is a little, let's call it a selfie stick tripod or monopod. I'm not sure what you want to call it, so I'm going to call it a selfie stick by Craft Geek. Now, check this out. On first glance, it's just a little extender, right? But it's also got tripod feet at the bottom, but these aren't normal tripod feet. These are huge. And the extension that you can get out of this is ridiculous. Now check this out. So I can pull this thing all the way out like that if I wanted to. And I'm gonna have to get back just to show you guys just how far this can actually go. I mean, this is absolutely insane. And of course, like I was just saying, it's also got the tripod feet on the bottom that you have to push this little button here in order to get them open. But let me go ahead and do that. Okay. But as you can see here, you know, you've got this major tripod foot here. It makes this very much like a monopod. So you can use it either as a selfie stick for vlogging, or you can use it as a tripod just by itself. Now, I'm not sure I want to leave that in a heavy wind, but you know, if you needed a tripod and all-in-one selfie stick, then this thing is really cool. And then of course, it folds right back up onto itself very easily. And just like that, you're back to your extended selfie stick. So maybe there's no need for a wide angle adapter if you can just give yourself a little bit of extra room. So are any of them any better or worse than any of the others if they seem to all be made the same way and they all seem to perform the same way? Well, yes and no. The Skyreat ones, since they don't work when you turn the camera off and into storage mode, you have to remove them from the camera. I would say that these aren't the pick. These aren't the ones to get. So that leaves your choice of Star Trek, Mingven, or newer. And I'm sure there's going to be other companies out there as well who know to make them thinner so it actually works. You know, you want to go with a brand name, go with newer, or go with one of the others. Go with whichever one seems the best option for you. I like that they are circular polarizers and ND filters all in one. So I really kind of like the newer package very much. I mean, just the fact that everything is right there and is very easy, and it includes a UV filter. I think pretty much the UV filter is going to go onto my camera and stay there. And that's pretty much it, unless I need to use something like an ND filter or something like that, or the black mist filter or the wide angle, which I don't know if I'm going to be using or not. But anyway, I hope you guys got something out of this review. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up and think about subscribing so you can see more of my videos in the future. But wait, before I end this video, I'm going to do a giveaway. And you know what? It's going to be a double giveaway. At the beginning of the video, I talked about giving away what was inside this box to one of my lucky viewers. And we're going to do that, but let me show you what's inside the box first. Now, last video on the Pocket 3, when I was unboxing it, I talked about how I didn't really like the pouch that it comes with, and I really liked a case very similar to this one. So I got another one to give away to anybody who wants it. If you have a Pocket 3, as you can see, everything fits into this case perfectly. And it's just easier to access everything rather than trying to fit it all back into that little pouch every time you want to take something out of it. So one of you guys will win this. But wait, there's more. I'm feeling even more generous, and because I've got so many of these filters, I'm going to give you guys one of these filter packs as well. If you'd like to enter the giveaway to try to win one of these items, or even try to win both of these items, please make sure you're subscribed, because I'd like to give it away to one of my subscribers. And go to the websites listed right here on the screen, and I will also put the links to them in the description box below. So make sure you check that out. Now, if you enjoyed learning all about these filters and all these different accessories, please give me a thumbs up. Please make sure you're subscribed. I hope everybody's doing well out there, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye.